What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be going over 10 secret tips slash advanced tips slash some people might call them cheats even in Madden that not a lot of people know about, something that mostly the advanced players know about, and things that you should definitely be using to your advantage in the game. So we're going to get right into it with number 1 on the list, and this is how to get an extra speed boost. This is something that only the top players know about, and it's still very under the radar. So when you're in the open field and you're kind of breaking away and you don't want to get chased down from behind, what you want to do is you want to spam the RB button on Xbox or the R1 button on PlayStation. And this is the cover ball mechanic, but what it does is it gives your player kind of this little it's a little like hitch, and it's a little bit of a speed boost. As you can see, like my running back switching hands because I keep spamming the RB button as I'm on Xbox. It's not something that looks like much, but I promise you, as you can see right here, maybe Fred Warner could have caught us here. You know, Alvin Kamara isn't the fastest running back. He had a decent angle, but I started spamming the RB button. And what this pretty much ensures is that it's going to be very hard for somebody to chase you down from behind. You know, in this game, you get suction tackled from behind a lot. You get kind of caught up and shoestring tackled from behind. Well, if you spam the RB or R1 button, this will very rarely happen because it just gives you this little bit of like a hitch in your step and just keeps you just that little bit ahead of the trailing defender. Something you want to go in practice mode and try for yourself. It's something that's kind of hard to see on screen, but if you go and you use it for yourself, you're going to see just how good this actually works, and it's going to make you get caught from behind a lot less in this game. Now, number 2 is the reset stamina trick. Now, this isn't so much of a trick, but kind of just like a pro tip. So, when your guys are tired, you'll notice they get red, or they get dark yellow, or maybe they get light yellow, and you don't want to like run the ball with these guys because it increases their chances of fumbling. So, what you want to do is you want to wait at the play call screen, but the trick is you want to cycle through the formations very quickly. You want to wait for about half the play clock to tick down if your main player, like your running back, is tired, and by flipping through the formations, you're going to see the second that his stamina decreases. So you see we're flipping through, and we're going to know the second that he goes from yellow back to blue because we're constantly flipping. So the second he actually gets reset, we'll know, and then we can go into the game and not worry about fumbling the ball. Now, the number 3 tip is delay tight end fade routes. These are something, again, mostly only advanced players are using this, but it's been under the radar. It's a new hot route that's in the game this year. If you put your tight end on a delay fade, it is very hard for the defense to defend them, especially a zone defense, which is what most people run. Now, to put your tight end on a delay fade, you hit the Y or triangle button, you select his icon, and then you press up on the right stick. That's going to put him on a delayed fade, and it's going to look like this. It's not going to look like he's delayed, but it is a delay fade. And what works really good with this is actually rolling out to his side because he's going to be an extra blocker. And then what you want to do is you want to wait for the zone defense to drop a little bit back, and then you want to press his icon down. By holding down his icon, that releases him into his route, which is a new feature that was added this year. So you kind of let the defense drop back, and then you kind of roll out a little bit. You hold his icon down, and then you see you have all this open area underneath to dump the ball down to him. It's something that your opponent has to manually try to key in on, or it's going to be easy yards. As you can see here, he's blocking, and just when I'm ready, I hold down his icon, I throw him the quick pass, and you see we get a nice easy gain underneath. It's an easy way to pick up 5 to 10 yards that's pretty much uncontested. Now, number 4 is going to be shading your defense over the top. This is something that isn't the most advanced thing in the world, but it's something a lot of people don't take advantage of. So I want you to note the matchup here. We have Ted Ginn on Richard Sherman. Now, Ted Ginn's about 4 speed faster. However, Richard Sherman has elite man coverage in the game, even though he's more of a zone corner in real life. He has elite man coverage in the game, 91 man coverage, and he has 97 press versus Ted Ginn, who has like in the mid-70s release. But what you're going to notice is Ted Ginn gets behind him very easily. So what you want to do is shade over the top. Which you do this by pressing Y, triangle, and then up on the right stick on your defensive controls. By doing this, he's going to bail immediately, and it's just that little bit of a difference that he's going to be able to get back there and defend the ball. Now, the thing with this is a lot of people like to press out of cover 0 when they're sending a blitz, so there's no safety help over the top. But if you play over top coverage, you're going to give that illusion of pressing the receivers. It's going to kind of throw the offense off a little bit, but you're going to be able to bail out, get back there, and not get beat over the top for big gains. Now, number 5 is going to be the use of motion to corner routes versus cover 3 and cover 4 defenses, which has worked for years in Madden. So, cover 3 and cover 4 are two of the most popular defenses you'll see in the game, specifically cover 3. You can usually kind of tell that it's possibly a cover 3 because you'll see the one high safety. So what you want to do is you want to find a corner route that's able to be motioned to the outside, and you want it to be like a flat corner route like this one, not one that goes too deep up the field because then it won't work. You motion him, snap it when he gets to about the numbers, and then you throw this to the sideline. Now you see we have Jalen Ramsey over there, one of the best corners in the game. He has 95 zone coverage, and he also has an ability that allows him to break on the ball quicker. That was a cover 3, here is a cover 4 defense, and even though we have one of the best corners out there, it doesn't matter, because with this motion corner route, it just gives them good leverage to the outside. You throw a bullet pass to the sideline, possession catch it, and you're going to be good money every single time, and it's an easy way to beat these defenses. Here in a trip set, you see our slot receiver DeAndre Hopkins is on a post, but we can get the same type of effect with this by motioning him all the way over to the right, snap it at the numbers, and we can throw this right when he breaks and get a nice easy catch on the sidelines. Now the number 6 tip is going to be the manual press on defense. You can manually press one wide receiver or tight end, and this is really good to take a player out of the play, especially if you're blitzing. So you can pick any player you want and say, hey, I'm going to try to hold him up. It might not work every time. Sometimes he'll get a good release, but a lot of times you can hold him up and take away one of the options. So you see we're going to stand over the tight end here, and what you want to do when the ball is snapped is you want to hold the right stick down. And as you can see, we were able to hold him for a good little bit there, and it kind of threw up the timing of his route, but also the other routes around him, and it allowed us to get a sack. You see we held the right stick down, and we literally held him at the line for a couple seconds there, and then it threw off all the timing of these routes here, threw off the timing of his route, allowed our pass rush to get free, and we got a sack. So definitely take advantage of this on defense. Number 7 is going to be the spam tackle. This is the safest way to tackle in the game. A lot of people like to hit stick or try to time the tackle, and that is just going to leave you more times than not in no man's land. What you want to do is spam the tackle button when you get near the ball carrier. On Xbox, that's the A button, and on PlayStation, that is the X button. So what you're going to see here is when our opponent runs the ball, we're going to try to get out there with our user, and when we get close to the ball carrier, we're just going to start spamming the tackle button over and over and over. I'm on Xbox, so for me, I'm just spamming the A button over and over and over. When I hit about right here, I start spamming it, and that a lot of times gives you a better chance to tackle the ball because it takes the timing out of it. See, when I get about right here, as we freeze this is when I start spamming it, when I get kind of like within about a couple yards of the ball carrier. And a lot of times, even if you're not right up on them, you'll get a suction tackle. You see here, right here, spamming the button, and it's just going to give you a secure way to make those tackles and not give up big gains. Number 8 is the hovering tactic on defense. This is really good for when you're blitzing. It helps your pass rush. So what you're going to see right here is we're going to bring just a typical 6-man blitz, a cover 0 blitz, and we're going to actually have 6 blockers on offense because we're going to leave the running back into block. We're not going to hover here. So we got 6 rushers versus 6 blockers. I'm going to get on my linebacker here that's manned up on the running back, and I'm just going to stay back at normal linebacker depth, and I want you to watch at what's going to happen here. You see the blitz gets picked up, QB has time, he's able to deliver a pass, pick up a solid gain. Instead, what you want to do is you want to take this guy, you want to bring him down into the gap until he starts kind of leaning over as though he's showing a blitz. You want to, you know, just like in real life when teams bring a lot of people up to the line, you don't know who's dropping back and who's coming, and that makes you, the offensive line and the running back, have to account for you. So you want to bring him up in that gap, hover, you want to hold the right trigger of the R2 button for a split second after the ball is snapped, and it's going to make you kind of stand in the gap as if maybe you're rushing, maybe you're dropping back, and you see by standing in this gap, the running back kind of had to slide over, the offensive line blocks a little bit differently, they have to account for the fact that I could be coming, and then at the last second I drop back into coverage, but that allows our blitzer to come in free. Number 9 is motion blocking. Now, this isn't the most advanced tip. I think a lot of people know about this, but there's definitely still some people that don't use this to their advantage. So right here, we're coming out in a play that is a stretch call to the right. But let's say we want to run it to the left. Let's say we like how it looks to the left, so we flip it to the left. Now, we could just run this regularly to the left, but to make it better, we can actually take our wide receiver on the other side, motion him over, get him on this side of the field, and now that gives us better numbers, and it just gives us a chance to get more yards because we're adding an extra blocker over there. As you're going to see here, you can see John Ross, he kind of helps clip this first guy right here. Then he gets up here and he gets on the safety. If he was not there to take out that safety would have had a one-on-one, been able to come down and actually probably make a play on us. So you want to be able to use motion blocking to your advantage because it will help you get extra yards. Here we got a stretch call to the right, same thing. We're going to motion our wide receiver over to this side, snap the ball, and you can see we didn't have the best rushing lanes there, but at that last second he got in there and he picked up that cornerback and allowed us to get good yards. Again, not the best rushing lanes here, but watch it, this last second he takes out Joe Hayden. If he was not there, Joe Hayden would have been probably able to take us out because the other blocker didn't look like he was going to get to him. John Ross helped spring us to the outside for a good gain. Now, number 10 on this list is called icon blocking. I don't know what the real term for this is, but I just call it icon blocking. This is something kind of only high-level people really know about, and it's kind of a myth, but we really think that it works. So, your cursor, where you can put your cursor on different players, you know, by holding down the B or circle button and then cycling with the left joystick. This is how you motion players and things like that. If you put this cursor on an offensive lineman or like on a tight end before you run the ball, most people think that it helps him block better. Again, we don't know for sure, but as you can see here, we got really good blocking out of Tyler Eifert by using this tactic. Again, it's kind of a myth, but a lot of the top end players really feel like this does give you an advantage in the run block game. You see here, Eifert kind of takes the first guy, kind of gets a decent block on the second guy, and that springs us for a really good run. Here, we're going to take a run up the middle, so we're going to take our cursor or our icon, and we're going to put it on our right guard here. And again, if the top level players say that it works, usually they know the game better than anybody. It probably does work, and as you can see, when we do this, it tends to give good blocking. Now, we could combine our last two tips to get the best of both worlds. Here, we're going to motion our receiver over, hurry up, put our icon on Tyler Eifert, and now we have the better blocking boost plus the motion block to help us pick up a good gain on the outside. Those were the 10 tips you guys absolutely have to know about. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, as always, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out some of these other videos here, and I'll see you guys next time.